Hi everyone, welcome to Tom and Harry SMMA. We're back with another video of content within marketing. Today we are talking about actually diving in pretty deep on how we really operate our six-figure marketing agency. We're going to talk you through everything you're going to kind of need to know. There's some key things towards the end which we're going to discuss. And like always, like and subscribe and comment, keep it positive, but we're going to set the timer for 10 minutes and keep our content short and sharp. We understand from everything that people don't tend to watch more than 10 minutes, so we might as well just make them 10 minutes. So there we go. Right, so without further ado, let's get into the video.
Yeah.
Right, how do we want to kick it off, mate?
Should we give some background for any new people about us, like our
What we do?
very like a whistle-stop tour of it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So, like, guys, if you don't know who Tom and I are, so Tom
Set the
is
time. Set the timer. You set the timer?
yeah, it's on.
It's on. Okay.
It's on. So Tom is obviously a bit older than me. He had his agency. When did you start your agency, mate? Your first one?
2019.
Yeah. So we both had our agencies like probably a bit over 5 years ago, and we did well. Both of them got to like between £5,000 and £10,000 a month at certain stages, and then we paired the two agencies up together and created the mega agency that we have today. Alongside Tom and I, we've got 6 other people plus a few part-time people that work for us. So it's a proper agency, and we, multi-6-figure
It is.
agency clients. 50% of our clients are on the East Coast of America and West Coast, so New York, Boston, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Washington, LA, and then in the UK, all over the UK and Ireland. So yeah, we're very well established. And really, this video is just to explain, because we get so many questions on it, kind of like how Tom and I transitioned from essentially two freelancers in our agencies to building like I call it a proper agency. So it's like how we kind of operate, how we manage clients, how we manage our team, what our days look like. That's kind
Yeah.
of what this video is going to be on.
Yeah, and it's changed so much over the last. Well, when we first started together, like Harry says, I had my agency with someone else, and you were doing a freelance thing, and then we combined together. And there's a whole story about how me and Harry met, by the way, which we're not going to talk about now. But
There's a
we
video on
met
the
each
channel.
other. Huh?
There's a video on the channel like explaining that whole
Yeah.
transition.
So so we combined, but it's changed so much, and not just how like we operate our now becoming very successful agency. It's not how we operate that, but there's been so many changes in what we offer now. Like even the services that we offer has completely changed. But yeah, so how like in a scope of things, it was just me and Harry. We then took on more and more people, and that's just that. And what's important, like me, to tell people is that's come at a cost. Like we've had to pay ourselves less, which is natural, so we can pay other people more. And that's a big thing which people don't tend to discuss.
Yeah, I think we've scaled really cleverly. So essentially, the way Tom and I scaled was we took it to as far as we physically possibly could, just me and him, which was like before, when we joined, mate, we were close to 10K a month each anyway. And then when that was at like the peak of being solo. Then when we joined together, we took it as far as we could, just me and Tom, where we took at the beginning, we took slightly different roles. Obviously, I was a lot younger. I didn't have the experience I had today on a sales call. So you kind of took more of a sales role. I did more of the service delivery. However, as it's grown and we've hired more people, those roles have evened out. Like we do the same amount of sales and service delivery. Currently, we have Tom, it leads up a lot of like 50% of the projects. I head up the other 50% of the projects. Just in terms of like being not the really the head account manager or who's responsible to oversee the team on that particular project. Obviously the different team members we have from Google Ad Specialist, Facebook Ad Specialist, social media manager, email marketing is in the same role. We've got head of client communications, Carl, 2 salespeople. So our team
Yeah.
is really widely diverse to help us deliver the service, but we're still massively involved in it. And I think I don't really know what you want to cover in this video, mate, but the 2 things I really want to cover is how we kind of manage it all and stay on top of like, because there'll be some people here thinking like, shit, one client is stressing me out. Imagine having fucking 50 of them.
Yeah.
So the way we do it is we use 2 softwares religiously, which is Slack and Monday. So Monday.com is literally like a task management tool where you can add all of your team members. all of your clients, and then what tasks need to be done by each team member under each client.
And for the for the record, we actually only implemented Monday last year.
Yeah.
So that was a new addition to our agency. The workload was like, we had a lot of work. And here's the thing, guys, is, you know, when you get even your mates asking you and your family to ask you to do things, and remember to drop that letter off at the post box, and remember to, you know, pick up your sister from the train station. Like sometimes you get overwhelmed with the amount of tasks. Imagine having that in the day-to-day role. We were getting a bit lost, mate, weren't we? About,
Yeah.
you know, what are you going to do versus me? And like, are you going to pick that task up? And although we had it in we had like a document that we would keep.
Yeah.
But implementing Monday.com, if you don't know what it is, you know, go on and check it out. But it is just like a CRM organization work-based tool.
Yeah.
So you put every task in and assign someone to it, and then they get an email to say you've been assigned it. And once you've completed the task, they get an email to say you completed it. It's really cool. It's really cool stuff. But we use that and Slack religiously.
Yeah, so Slack's to communicate on the clients, and Monday integrates with Slack, but it basically, yeah, Slack's to communicate with all the clients, so it's all in one place. We have group chats with all of our clients, all the team members in each of the spaces. So yeah, and Monday allows us to look every single morning. Well, I look every single morning, and so do you. What every single team member is currently working on to make sure that nothing's slipping through the gaps. So essentially, our head of client communications will speak to all of our clients every single week, along with when we speak to them on an ad hoc basis. But then, based off of the calls that he has with each client, he then puts those jobs into Monday. And then it's our job as a team to come together and assign those jobs to each other. So on his weekly call with a client, they might be like, right, I want the leads to be now separated between Google and Facebook. I want this person added to the notifications. I need someone to set up a sales workshop with this new receptionist. Our client action manager will go into Monday, add all of those and say, right, this needs to be done by this date. Tom, you're doing that. Harry's doing that. Jay's doing that. Carl's doing that. Jade's doing that. Like, and then just assemble it to the team. So that's how we get feedback from the client into what we do on a daily basis. And then it's up to Tom and I to manage our individual projects. So it really, usually the way it works in terms of how we assign projects to each other to head it up and kind of see it through is it depends on who does the sales call, really, doesn't it? It's like if I deliver the sales call, and I've got that relationship from the head to get go, then I'll manage that moving forward. And then if you do the sales call, or if it plays into your natural advantages from like different clients that you've worked with, then you'll pick them. Yeah. So really, we just divvy them up. So like Tom will manage half, I'll manage half. But when we say manage, it's not like we're doing what we did 5 years ago and actually delivering all the service, although we do get stuck into it. It's more, right, he's responsible or I'm responsible to make sure that client is experiencing a good experience through our team, if that makes sense.
Yeah. How long's left on the timer?
2.5 minutes.
I think the other thing really, which is super important, is you have to play to your strengths. And me and Harry play to our own strengths, like he's just said. So when I'm in America and we have American clients and they need like an ad hoc phone call, I will just say, I'm going to call them. So I'm on their time zone. Harry can do other things. So that's key on how we operate. I think people often look at how do you operate an agency, and it can on the front end look really overwhelming.
Yeah.
But when you got these tools, we also use WhatsApp still, don't we?
Yeah.
We don't like it.
I think the way this question is so difficult for us to answer, mate, because we've never, until very recently, we've never really sat down and thought, right, this is the system that we follow. It's been very natural. It's kind of just like, it's odd. It's like if we had to do a course on how we've done it in terms of like how you and I personally manage the business, it'd be a very hard course to film.
Yeah, it would. And the reason we moved over to Slack because it's a completely different way of communicating. But when we were using WhatsApp, you can get really, really far with your agency, creating WhatsApp groups with everyone involved, have a logo in the corner so you know what it's called, like everyone's, and everything can go in it and you can communicate perfectly. And actually works really, really nicely.
I'd recommend that.
Same.
If I was a beginner,
if you're going to operate your business,
if I was a beginner and I've got less than 10 clients, I wouldn't get them on Slack. I don't think there's any need. I think when you're starting things off and you're trying to get testimonials and trying to do this, making your relationship with them as personable as possible, WhatsApp played a massive part in us getting our agency off the ground, I think, because it was like they felt like they had us at their fingertips. Whereas now it's more difficult for them to have our fingertips because we're so busy and we've got so many clients. But that was a massive advantage, and I'd recommend that to anyone.
And that was before WhatsApp communities came out too.
Um,
So WhatsApp communities is really useful also. It's a feature within WhatsApp. But the other thing you can do on WhatsApp, which it now exists but wasn't quite a thing, we've got 10 seconds left, is we had WhatsApp for Business, which again makes you a little bit more professional. But yeah, I think in terms of how we operate it, everyone has their roles. It's all about communication with everything we do. Communication with clients, communication with your team. And we got it. We made some fucking big mistakes, didn't we? But, you learn from them and you move on. But there we go. I think it gives everyone insight. I think if those who are looking to start your own marketing agency, start a business, or even if you've got one and you want more hands-on help, want some mentorship, and to see exactly how me and Harry do it, then we do offer the Digital Culture Academy. It is by far the best academy out there on the market, but that's my own personal opinion.
Yeah. And I think
just message Harry.
Yeah, my last thing is just don't overcomplicate it. Don't launch your agency and think, right, you need to run it the same way Tom and I do. We're at very different stages. But if you are at a stage of hiring the team, and I don't think you should be hiring anyone until you're really making about 6 or 7 grand a month plus. If you are interested in some help, message me and I can give you some pointers. If you're in the academy, we speak about it anyway. Like there's loads of people in the academy. I'm currently helping build a team. Ivan, he got his agency to 10 grand a month in the first 12 months of joining our academy, sorry. And I'm now helping him build a team essentially, which is really exciting for him. So that just shows how the academy can really, people talk about it, but it's genuinely happening for so many people that put the work in. So yeah, message me if you've got any questions, guys. And yeah, please subscribe and we'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. for tomorrow's video.